Oh my god, so my pole got here. I ordered an X pole. Currently what I use is a pole from Amazon, and it was like around the $100. It's honestly not one of the best because it's a non-brand pole, and I mean it's lasted me a year, but fuck, I'm out of breath because I was carrying this. It's like 40 pounds. It's really not the best because it's not meant to support a lot. It's just not a good material, and that's why I've mostly been practicing spins and not a lot of inverts because I feel unsafe. The X pole is one of the best poles out there. It's recommended by a lot of people I look up to, so that's the one I got. I'm gonna install it today, so I'm gonna take down this one and put up the new one. So right here I'm trying to align to make sure I find a spot where it's gonna be straight on the beam. And on this one you could see the inside of the pole, so as opposed to the old one I had, this one isn't hollow. This one has like these little settings or tools or whatever where you twist it, and the inside is kind of like, it tightens up so that way like the pieces aren't like moving. And so there's more steps into how you install this pole. So I kept going back and forth on the directions, but it included all the tools you would need, so installation wasn't so bad. It honestly would have been so much easier if I had someone else to help me, so someone to hold on the base and someone who was going to install the top part, but no one was. It was just me. And that's like the bad thing, is like I live in a room where it's just like the floor is uneven, so it took me way longer than it should have. But I feel like if you had two people installing this pole, it would go by so much quicker. Also, I should have read the instructions completely before I began. That's what the envelope said, like, oh, read the instructions before you take out the pole. But obviously I was so excited and I just got started. um but it's pretty clear. So the instructions for X-Pole were really good. When you buy off-brand, like how I did previously, it didn't even come with directions, and I think it did come, but I remember like the instructions had like pieces that weren't even included. So I remember I ended up having to search up YouTube to help me install it. Um, and both of them work as like the same way that they're poles that work by pressure. So you like kind of twist it so that it has pressure on the ceiling and on the floor so that it doesn't move. But this one, like I said, it has like a little bit more precautious setting, so it's safer. Right here I'm loosening the bottom so that I could um, adjust the top, and then this is towards the end where I already installed it, and I'm trying to do an invert, but I've never done one, so I don't know what I'm doing. So this is how my pole looks now. I really like it because it's golden, and the base is really different from the old one, or the one I had previously. So it's smaller, and then it still has like the dome base, and it's still, I think it was 45 centimeters, or I forget what inches or whatever it is, but it's 45. So this is usually the standard size. I really like it, and even though it's like a higher quality pole, you should still be checking up on it, so making sure the pressure doesn't like loosen up, especially because I usually use it for a spin pole. It can affect like the pressure difference, so you should check up on it every time you're gonna start pole. Okay, and then what are some things that you should know like before you decide if you're gonna have a pole in your room or in your house or garage, wherever you want to have it? Is, well, first of all, like I bought my first one through Amazon, and even though I was able to use it for a while, it's really not safe, and you could tell the difference in like the pole that I had previously and this one. So this one has more like steps to make it safe. And even though like it's just like a pole, like you should try to get the best quality, because you're doing a lot of like gymnast kind of moves and like inverting and going upside down, things that could like put you in danger because you're above ground, and the impact of your fall could hurt you, or you could just get hurt in general. And also making sure you have like a room, like when you have, you know what room you're gonna put it in, is make sure it's on a sturdy beam so that you're not putting it over plaster. It's really cool because this is way easier to switch out like spin and non-spin options. So you just lift it and then you turn it the direction you want it to be. So right now I made it into static. So the first rule is to not be afraid of what people think. So when it comes to like pole dancing, people are always gonna say shit, and I've already had comments of people saying like, so you're a stripper, or they'll associate it with being a slut. And even though like all those associations aren't what bother me, because I'm like, I don't give a fuck, like whatever, like I am what I am. But it's just like, I don't know, like it's just people think like, oh, like I don't know, I guess what bothers me is like my mom has commented about it, and it does get to me like, fuck, like what the fuck, you're supposed to be the person that isn't gonna judge me and shit. But you know, people are gonna have their thoughts about it, and that's even just me having a pole at home. It's not even me like actually working somewhere or putting on shows or nothing like that. So I could barely begin to imagine what that would be like. But I guess, yeah, just don't care what people think. Like, people are always gonna think of negative things about you, even pole or not pole. Like, you could be like the most perfect person and they're still gonna say something. So you know what, like just fuck it, like do your own thing. This is something that probably makes you have so much fun, and honestly like it builds confidence in you and you feel more like self-assured in yourself. So just do you, like who cares, like fuck everyone. And yeah. Hi Jupiter. Hi Papa. Yeah. Okay, so price wise this was around $400, maybe almost $500, with like delivery and like taxes and all that shit. So I got it on a payment plan so that I'm not paying it all at once, but I'm still gonna end up paying that total regardless. It is pricey, but with a lot of things sometimes you have to pay for the quality a little bit more, especially if it like includes your safety. So pole dancing, like you are gonna like maybe make yourself more likely to have injuries, or like yeah, injuries. So might as well pay to have something that's more safe than like buy something at Spencer's and you fucking end up on Pole LOL's Instagram.
I think I love you, but I'm not sure. Tragic love just might be what I've been looking for. Tie me up in chains, whip me like a dog, whip me till I'm black and blue, and maybe baby I'll love you.
One thing to note is that just because you have it on spin settings does not mean it makes it easier. So don't let people be like, oh, it's because you have a spin pole that it's so easy. Like, no, like you're still picking up your body weight, and there's kind of the only difference is like you're not having to worry about the momentum. So sometimes it's better to use like static non-spinning settings, because then you're more focused on picking up your weight only and not like you spinning around and shit. But it's still the same thing. You're learning how to pick up your weight. It's very recent that I just got comfortable with picking myself up with one hand. Before it used to be really hard. And yeah, so it's just take your time and like learn things step by step. There's a lot of free resources on YouTube. Follow a lot of dancers, and then you'll get some of their tips. And then I'm just like feeling it around. So yeah, like I said, always check it before you have like a practice day, because it could loosen up for a lot of things. So just be safe about it.